Welcome to the Vet Farm Network podcast, where we dive into the world of veteran-led agriculture, sharing stories, insights, and resources for those growing food and building community after service. This podcast is brought to you by Veterans in Farming, supporting veterans and their families in agriculture at vetsinfarming.com, and Addie's Orchard, a nonprofit empowering veterans through beekeeping and sustainable farming at addiesorchards.org. Let's get started. Thanks for joining us today. Today I am with Christina, and Chris has been a huge help as I've gotten onboarded into working with Joe Ricker at Addie's Orchards and Veterans in Farming. And Chris has an incredibly important role. She does a lot of the on-site event management, day-to-day stuff at Addie's Orchard with farm chores and animal husbandry. And Chris, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. So I'm Chris. I studied community development in college, and I'm really interested in the world of nonprofits and all of the meaningful work that happens in that realm, along with all of the challenges of operating as a nonprofit and being funded by grants and all of that. Um, and I also got really interested in sustainable agriculture and farming a few years ago. And so I was very happy and lucky to connect with Joe and to learn about his passions and his mission to help veterans get into farming and agriculture. And I'm blessed to be able to support that mission and to get to be involved with hands-on things at the farm, at Joe's farm, every day. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about where Addie's Orchard is in Indiana and what do you have on your farm there?
Yeah, so Addie's Orchard is in Wilkinson, Indiana, um, near Anderson, Greenfield, that area. And we currently have 17 goats. 9 of them are babies. We have doubled our herd within the past 2 months from all of the new babies. And we also have about 20 full-grown chickens and at least 30 chicks, like half-grown chickens. And we also have an orchard with about 200 apple trees of several different varieties. And we have beehives, a high tunnel that we are working on planting in right now. So there's a lot going on, always a project to do, um, always animals to care for, and plants and opportunities to um, get your hands dirty. Yeah.
Awesome. And recently in January was the Veterans in Farming Conference, Winter Conference, mostly veterans from Indiana or the Midwest region. Could you tell me a little bit about what that was like and what kind of workshops took place during that day?
Yeah. So the Veterans in Farming Conference in Bloomington was a great chance to see lots of veterans from around the state come together and have awesome conversations and networking opportunities and just building on connections that already exist and building new connections with one another. And we had representatives from a variety of other organizations, NRCS, Purdue, all sorts of like agriculture and veteran organizations that all came together. We had some classes about um, chickens, poultry, beekeeping, opportunities with NRCS, hydroponics, all sorts of things. It was a great day. Also, a really cool kids program with live animals. So there was a lot going on. And I just loved seeing all of the great conversations that got to take place. I think that makes it all worth it. So.
Awesome. And so what has in the past year, what have workshops on the Addie's Orchard Farm been like? I know they've collaborated with Veterans in Farming and you've had almost events monthly. But what if some of those events look like?
Yeah. So yes, we do have events at Addie's Orchard, and at the other locations that are connected with veterans and farming. So recently we had a pruning workshop at Addie's Orchard out in the apple orchard. Um, and that was really great. A little bit of chilly weather, but still a good group of people that came out and again had some great conversations and some hands-on time to try out different pruning techniques in Joe's orchard. Joe is very gracious to allow his orchard to be a learning space for people. Um, and yeah, so that was one class we had. Earlier in February, we had a cold stratification class. That one was also in Bloomington, um, with veterans in farming. And that one we had some great instructors come out and talk about native plants, and there was seed sharing and again, awesome conversations happening. So yeah, it's great to plan these events and see people benefit directly from them. Yeah.
Awesome. So do you have some events coming up this spring?
Yes, yeah, we're putting up another high tunnel hoop house at the Anderson Farm location. That's coming up in May, I believe. And then we let's see. We also just had a mushroom workshop at Porter Farm in Danville. That was another great class that we just had. And we will have another mushroom workshop, but a different kind of workshop. And that one is also coming up. Yeah, lots of events in the works. Always something to look forward to. Yeah.
And so are these opportunities for learning, do you envision them for people that already have experience, or could someone who's just interested in wanting to plant a couple apple trees in their backyard, would a pruning workshop at Joe's Farm, Addie's Orchard be a handy thing to for them to get some, some experience? Are they welcome to join?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think the classes are meant to be as approachable as possible. And so, even if you just have two apple trees and you want to know how best to take care of them, I think coming to one of our workshops would be a great place to get your questions answered and to collaborate with other people and hear real examples. Yeah, yeah, for sure. We welcome the large orchard person and the I have one tree in my backyard person and everything in between. Mhm.
Awesome. So how would someone get in touch with do they need to register ahead for these classes, or can they just show up?
Yeah, so we list all of our classes on the Veterans and Farming website on the events tab, and you can go there and read details about time, location, description, and then if you decide to come, you can register through the website, and we'll send you some helpful information and reminders the week of the event. And your name will be added to the registration list. Yeah, if you're not a member of Veterans in Farming, you can join for free and register for any of the classes. And yeah.
Awesome. And so what is it like when someone pulls up, 10 minutes early before class starts? What does it look like for them when they pull in the driveway?
Well, hopefully welcoming, seeing maybe some familiar faces and some new faces, and um, yeah, just being welcomed with a learning opportunity and an opportunity for community and connection. Mhm.
And so had you had any experience working with veterans before, or has this been sort of something new as you've worked at Addie's Orchard and kind of just learning what that's like to work with former military folks?
I had not had a whole lot of experience working with veterans specifically. So yeah, so that's been a new experience and learning how to connect with that community and hearing people's stories and seeing the veterans connect with one another has been really special. Um, I do enjoy like when a nonprofit has a specific target audience and you're really able to see that specific group of people benefiting from those resources and the programs and projects. I think that's part of what makes it so special. So yeah, it's been great to be welcomed into that community, even though I myself am not a veteran. But I, again, am glad to support the mission and do what I can to help. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, and I heard that there is a conference coming up in Shipshewana, which is sort of northern Indiana area, this summer in July. Are you going to be headed to that one as well?
Yes, yes. That'll be another great opportunity to connect. And um, I think it's great to have a conference in a new location and hopefully be accessible to some different geographic regions. I think that'll be really cool and a chance to build new connections up there. Um, yes, another event that I forgot to mention earlier is the golf outing event that we have coming up to
Nice.
benefit Addie's Orchard.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
That's also
tell us a little bit about that.
I might have taken your next question, but but yes, the golf outing with IDBA, which is happening in May 9th, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's an awesome opportunity to raise funds to directly benefit veterans through Orchard was IDBA's nonprofit of the year. So that's a great opportunity for anyone listening that likes to golf, or maybe you know someone that's big into golfing. This is a great chance to golf for a good cause. So, yeah.
I love that. And so, does Addie's Orchard have sort of a plan for the funds that are gathered from that event, like to go towards a specific mission?
Yes. So the plan is for the funds to go towards the AgriVet Challenge, which is an awesome opportunity to fund projects and goals and dreams that veterans have on their farms that maybe they need need funds to get going. And so this is an opportunity to support them and to help them reach that achievement in their endeavors, and to promote their learning journey as well and their growth as a farmer. Yeah, to help them succeed. That would be great to see all of the benefits from that.
Awesome. So if someone wants to get some friends together and join the golf tournament in May, is it May? Did you say?
Yeah.
Where would they go to find that information?
Um,
Probably the Vets and Farming.
well, yes, it will be on the Vets and Farming website as well as the At Ease Orchard website.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate all you do for Indiana veterans and farmers across the nation. And thank you so much for being our first guest on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.